Hey guys, Omaha here. I am back on Baldur's Gate 3 after more than a year. Now that we have patch 8 and we got 12 new subclasses, I decided I was going to come back and do a video on each of the new subclasses. Maybe I'll do more stuff after. We'll see how these videos do, but I'm super excited to be back. I would have done these videos earlier if I had got into the playtest. I did not get into the playtest even though I applied day 1, so it kind of sucks, but you know, we're here, we're making them now, and I'm really enjoying the new subclasses. They're really fun. So for this first video, I'm doing the Hexblade Warlock, which in my opinion, I haven't tried them all out a ton yet, but I think it's probably the strongest of the new, just going off of some of the stuff and trying some of them. And that seems to be kind of the widespread opinion. A lot of people say this is probably the best one. I think it's extremely powerful, and this is the class I'm actually using in my honor mode playthrough. So this isn't a build guide video. If you've watched my videos before, this is kind of just a guide to the subclass to show you what you can expect all the way up to level 12. I might do a build for it later because I am using it in honor mode, but we'll see how that goes. So enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. All right, first starting out at level 1, you're going to choose Warlock because that's where the Hexblade is. Bound by a pact to an all-powerful patron, Warlocks trade their loyalty for supernatural abilities and unique magic. This will give you proficiency with simple weapons and light armor. Don't worry about the weapons part because the Hexblade is going to be proficient in whatever weapon you want to use. Then next of all, we'll choose the Hexblade subclass. You've made your pact with a mysterious entity from the Shadowfell, a force that manifests in sentient magic weapons carved from the stuff of shadow. So this is going to be a subclass focused on melee, and it's very powerful. So your proficiencies will again martial weapons, but it's gonna not matter any weapon you want. Armor, it's gonna be medium armor and shields now, and shields are actually pretty good on this subclass. This will give you the action bind hexed weapon. Bind to your main hand weapon. Its damage becomes magical. You cannot drop or throw it, and you become proficient with it if you weren't already. So what that means is you'll add your proficiency bonus to your attack rolls. That makes it easier to hit, and you're able to use special weapon attacks. When you attack with this weapon, there's a chance that Hexblade's Curse will be applied to the target. So Hexblade's Curse, cursed by a Hexblade Warlock. The Warlock who cursed this entity adds a proficiency bonus to damage rolls against them. So not only are you getting a higher chance to hit them with the attack roll bonus, you're also getting a damage roll bonus as well. The number they need to roll a critical hit while attacking this entity is also reduced by 1. So say you normally need like a 19 or 20 to get a critical hit. Well, now you need an 18 or 19. So that's really good. And that'll stack with other things as well. You can only have one packed weapon at any time, and it uses your charisma modifier because you are a warlock. The weapon returns to its previous state if you're more than 5 feet away from it for more than 10 rounds, and that's permanent. So you cast it even after a long rest, it'll still be bound. Okay, and here's your Hexblade's Curse. Curse a target. Your damage rolls against the target get bonus equal to your proficiency bonus. The number you need to roll a critical hit is reduced by 1. If the target dies, you regain 4 hit points. So this will last for 10 turns, and it's a bonus action as well. So this is its own thing. It's separate from actually hitting them and getting the curse. You can hit them with a weapon that's hexed, and you'll get the curse on them potentially. Or you can use a bonus action. I think it's once per short rest, and just apply it yourself if you want from range. That's a range of 60 feet. And then here, it's just going to reiterate. Hex Warrior, you get proficiency with medium armor, shields, martial weapons. You gain bind hexed weapon, which lets you use charisma instead of strength or dexterity when attacking with weapons you're proficient with. Okay, next you're going to choose 2 spells from level 1 spell list. You've got Armor of Agathis, Arms of Hadar, Charm Person, Expeditious Retreat, Hellish Rebuke, Hex, Protection from Evil and Good, Shield, Witch Bolt, and Wrathful Smite. You're also going to choose 2 cantrips, which I probably should have listed first, but you can choose from Blade Ward, a new one called Booming Blade. So when you strike with your weapon normally, but it also applies 1 to 8 thunder damage when they move for 1 turn. That's a really good one. I highly suggest that one. Bone Chill, Eldritch Blast, also just suggest that if you're looking for recommendations. Friends, Mage Hand, Minor Illusion, Poison Spray, another one that's new called Toll of the Dead. So this does 1 to 12 necrotic damage. Ring the Bell of Impending Doom. If the target is at full health, you deal 1 to 8 necrotic damage instead, and then True Strike. Then you're going to want to apply your ability points. If you're looking for a recommendation, this is the exact one that I went with in my honor mode playthrough. I dumped intelligence and strength, pumped up the dexterity to 16 with a +1, and charisma 17 with a +2, and then I did Hag's Hair and all that to get charisma to like 20. I'm on Act 2 so far. But either way, you kind of want to prioritize charisma because that's your main thing, and then you'll apply 2 skill proficiencies. Okay, so for bind hex weapon, you'll see here, I've got this normal plain Jane dagger, 4 to 7 damage, nothing special about it. So we'll use this. It's going to use an action, so I would say use it before combat, and it's permanent anyways. But now our weapon is hexed. So nothing really changes right now, but it just says it's hexed. We can apply the curse, or have a chance to apply the curse on a hit. So we'll see if that goes right here. Okay, well, we're definitely going to need that attack roll bonus. Let's see if it hits now. Okay, we hit, but no curse. So there is just a chance of applying it, but you can also apply it with Hexblade's Curse as the bonus action once per short rest. I'll just show you guys that right now. So there you go. The enemy is cursed. Later on in the game, you actually have a really high chance of applying the curse with your weapon. I think early game, maybe it's just a lower chance. I'm currently in Act 2, and it seems like I'm applying the curse almost on every single hit. So now I should be doing more damage and have a higher chance of hitting him. There you go, 9 damage, and I killed him while he was cursed, so I got +4 health back. Now, one reason I was suggesting take Booming Blade as your cantrip is because you can use this here. It's going to count as your normal weapon attack still, so you can still apply the curse with it. So that's why I suggest taking it. You just get extra damage out of your normal attack, so there's no reason not to use it, unless they're like immune or resistant to thunder damage. All right, now you hit level 2. You're going to get more health. You're going to get your second Warlock spell slot. You're going to get 2 passives, so you can choose between Agonizing Blast, Armor of Shadows, Beast Speech, Beguiling Influence, Devil's Sight, Fiendish Vigor, Mask of Many Faces, one with the Shadows, Repelling Blast, and Thief of 5 Fates. And then you'll choose 2 more spells from the level 1 spell list. And just remember, as a Warlock, your spell slots recharge on short rest, not long rest, so you can use your spells more often. Now at level 3, more health again. Your spells are going to now be improved, so they're all by default going to be level 2 spells. You can't change that. It's just going to be level 2 upcast for everything. So you have 2 level 2 spells now. You get a passive, so you can choose between Pact of the Chain, which gives you some summons. You can get Find Familiar Imp, and Find Familiar Closet. Pact of the Tome, which is magic. You get some extra spells and cantrips, and you'll get more later. And then Pact of the Blade. This is really the only choice for the subclass, honestly, and it's easily the best one. There's really, you shouldn't even consider the other ones, in my opinion. This will give you Bind Pact Weapon, which is kind of irrelevant because you already have that, and Pact of the Blade, which will let you summon one of 9 different weapons. So you can basically summon any weapon type in the game, make you proficient with it, and its damage will be magical. It'll use your spell casting ability modifier, which is your charisma. This is also kind of irrelevant, and you'll see why in a second here, but this is the one you're still going to want to select. Trust me on this. You'll see why later on. And for your spell, you can now choose level 2 spells. So now you have access to Blur, Branding Smite, Cloud of Daggers, Crown of Madness, Darkness, Enthrall, Hold Person, Invisibility, Mirror Image, Misty Step, Rave Enfeeblement, Shatter, and the best one of all by far is Shadow Blade. So this is what I would personally suggest taking. And this is going to basically be, if you run this subclass just straight through all the way to level 12, at least until Act 2 so far, this outscales every single weapon in the game so far. So I highly suggest taking this, and I'll show you that in a second. So you can also replace a spell too. So you can swap out a spell if you don't want it anymore and choose a new one from the new list. Okay, so here's your Pact of the Blade thing that I was talking about, where you can summon one of 9 different weapons. So right now I've still got that dagger, 4 to 7. Let's just say I summon a rapier. Okay, so now I have a rapier, and that has 4 to 11 damage. Okay, and you get some special actions with it, which is cool. I could summon a warhammer. Okay, that's got 4 to 13 damage as well. Same damage. And let's do one more just to kind of show you guys. Let's do a sickle, even though I don't really ever see people use those. 4 to 11 damage. So you're basically going to be in 4 to 11, 4 to 13 damage. Okay, the Shadow Blade that I was telling you about, this says it deals 2 to 16 psychic damage. When you use the sword to attack a target that is in dim light or darkness, you make the attack roll with advantage. So you have twice the chance of hitting, basically. It's going to roll 2 dice and use the higher value. It can be unequipped and equipped again, but it's remain on the spellcaster's person. So this lasts until long rest. So you're going to want to cast this after every long rest, basically. And you look here, this is 5 to 19 damage already. It's also psychic damage. A lot of people are weak to psychic damage. And guess what? You can bind the hexed weapon. So this is what I do every single time after a long rest. I whip this Shadow Blade out again. You have to bind it every time. It says permanent, but since you lose the blade, you lose the hex of it. And you got 5 to 19 damage. And this thing is going to, again, outscale, because as your spells level up, once you get to level 3 spells, this also goes up to level 3. So this gets even better and better as you level up. And on top of that, you can still use Booming Blade with your Shadow Blade. So Starian's my little test dummy here. Let's use another test dummy. Gale, please take a hit. Thank you. Okay, well, they're all dying, but I was going to show you the extra damage from moving. Honestly, I'm not the best companion in this game. But anyways, as we go through the levels, I'll keep showing you the Shadow Blade's damage just so you can see that it's extremely powerful. All right, now you're at level 4 and you get more health again. You can choose another cantrip from the original list. You can choose another spell from level 1 and 2 spell slots. You can replace a spell just like at every level. And then you can choose your first feat. And personally, what I chose was ability improvement, and improved my charisma +2 to 19. And now we're here at level 5. So more health, your deepened pact. This is where Pact of the Blade really comes in handy, because now you're going to get an extra attack with your packed weapon. And this will also work with your Shadow Blade spell. So now you have 2 attacks every single turn. You can choose another Eldritch Invocation, and you have a little bit more options now. I don't remember the list of the first ones I read. I think that the 2 new ones here, Mire the Mind and Sign of Ill Omen. Oh, I think Repelling Blast is also new. So I think that's what I chose, was Repelling Blast. And then now you have access to level 3 spells. So all of your spells are going to be level 3 now as well. It doesn't even say that right here, which it should, but it doesn't. So all of your spells are level 3, but now you have Blink, Counterspell, Elemental Weapon, Fear, Grant Flight, Gaseous Form, Hunger of Hadar, Hypnotic Pattern, Remove Curse, and Vampire Touch. Okay, so now we have 2 level 3 spell slots, and let's say we just came off of a long rest. So we cast Shadow Blade. First thing you want to do So that has 6 to 27 damage. And then we will Hex bind it. Make sure you do that every time too. And now we're at 7 to 28 damage. Let me take this off. Unless you want to dual wield, you can. But yeah, 7 to 28 damage right now at level 5 is a lot. And keep in mind, you can put a shield on as well to increase your armor class. So not only that, but you could use Hex, or you could use like elemental weapon, imbue it with like fire or something. Now you're at 8 to 32 damage, and then you can use Booming Blade because it's a cantrip every single turn. So, I mean, you're getting 9 to 40 damage now with a weapon. You don't even need to contest gear slot or weapon slots with anybody else in the game right now. Also keep in mind that you haven't even cursed anybody yet, which is going to add extra damage according to your proficiency bonus, which by now at level 5 is +3. Keep in mind too that your Hexblade's Curse is going to scale. So now when I kill an enemy that's cursed, I get 9 hit points back. All right, so let's go take a look at that, what that looks like. I know I'm cheating, so I'm level 5 in this area right now, but let's go attack this goblin boss. Did I even attack? Okay, I killed him. I didn't even see how much damage I did. Let's see what the battle log says. Okay, so I hit him with 17 psychic damage and 4 fire damage. So yeah, this thing hits pretty hard. You also get your second attack, keep in mind. And I didn't even use Booming Blade actually, so I could have got even more damage out of that. Let's go hit this warg. He's 26 HP. That's a lot. Actually, you know what? Let's curse him first. And then we'll hit him with Booming Blade. So 6, 25, and 3 damage right there. So you can see how the damage really starts to ramp up. Again, I know this is early game, so these guys are way weaker than what I'd be normally facing, but that's still a lot of damage. All right, now we've hit level 6, and this is where it really starts to get crazy. If you thought that was already crazy, just wait till you see these accursed specters. So we get more health, we get the accursed specter. When you or an ally within 60 feet slay a creature that is afflicted with your curse, you can raise an accursed specter that will fight alongside you for a short period of time. Now you're also going to get another spell. So choose from levels 1 through 3, whatever spell you want, and then you can replace the spell again. Okay, now I'm gonna take you to the wiki page here to show you a little more about it because it's easier to read it in here. So when you raise a specter, the size of the fallen creature will determine whether you raise a feeble specter, a mundane specter, or a primordial specter. And also keep in mind, this does not work with constructs, elementals, oozes, plants, or undead. So this is gonna be a reaction, and here's the stats for the 3. I'll try to show you all 3 in game 2. But the feeble specter is a tiny or small sized creature. That's like goblins and smaller, basically. Mundane specters where you're going to see the most. That's medium sized, so human sized creatures. And then primordial specters, that's for large, huge, and gargantuan, which gargantuan's only the dragon in Act 3, I think. But they each have their own abilities. I'll try to show you guys these. I don't know if it'll end up going in the video because I have no control. You don't control these, they control themselves. So it would take a lot of reloading saves to show off every single one of these abilities, but I'll try to. We'll see if it gets in the video. But basically, the feeble specter, he has the lowest stats. These all last 10 turns, by the way. He's got pluck soul, so he can pull enemies towards him up to 5 meters, 17 feet, and because they can't move, they're going to be using that. And then they have right behind you as a reaction, so they can materialize next to your Warlock's victim, so they can teleport. And he's going to have 17 hit points, armor class of 12, and then those are his base stats up there. And then next up, you have the Mundane Spectre, so he's got 31 hit points for base, 14 armor class. He's got Devour Soul, so you can consume the soul of your Warlock's enemy while healing the Warlock for half the damage. So this is where these things get insane, because you're going to be getting the Mundane one a lot anyways, a lot of human enemies in this game, or human-sized at least. You're going to get a lot of healing from these, and you can do this like once per turn because it's a reaction to summon one of these, and it's just pretty insane. You can have more than one of these up at a time as well. Pluck Soul, again, you can move them 5 meters or 17 feet towards him, and then he has the reaction to teleport. Okay, now the Primordial one is pretty crazy. 48 hit points for base, 12 armor class, Devour Soul, so it's the same where he devours their soul and heals you for half the damage. Seize Soul, pull the enemy up to 10 meters or 33 feet, so that's double of what the other two can do. And then Reap Soul, unsheath a set of hexed sickles and rip your Warlock's enemy to shreds. And then he also has right behind you so you can teleport. And then that Hex, or the Reap Soul, is like a multi-attack thing where he does 1d8 plus strength modifier plus your summoner's charisma modifier of slashing damage. I also forgot to mention that the Pluck Soul is going to deal damage. It's going to do 1d6 plus a summoner's charisma modifier necrotic damage. And then Devour Soul does 2d6 plus the modifier, and then it heals you for half. I think it's the same for this one. Yeah. And then Seize Soul, where he pulls double the distance. It's 1d6 plus summoner's charisma modifier. So I'm just showing you guys all that on the wiki just in case I'm not able to show you that in the game, but I'm going to try to do that. I also think it's important. I'm going to read this little note here because I actually didn't know this myself. If it's not stated anywhere, or it is not stated anywhere, but the specters get temporary HP equal to half your summoner's level. So if you're level 6, they get like 3, and deal bonus damage equal to the summoner's charisma modifier. All right, so let's try to use this in combat, see if I can get some specters going against these weak enemies. So I'm going to curse him first because I'll probably just one-hit him, any of these guys. So this should summon a, I think it's Mundane. Mundane's the second one, whatever the first one. Feeble Spectre. There we go. So here's my reaction, a Cursed Spectre. So let's do that. And there's my Feeble Spectre. So here's his stats. You can never really see their face because they're so tall, I guess. That happens every time. And then he gets the +3 temporary hit points because I'm level 6, so they get half. Remember that from the notes. Yeah, so there's one. Let's see if I can get the mundane from this warg. It'll probably have to be next turn since I already used my reaction. So I'll just kill another guy and end my turn, I guess. And then you guys can see the Spectre do its thing too. So I turn with all these guys. Well, get away, because this guy's gonna throw a bomb at me. I already know. I've been here before. Okay, they missed. Spectre did nothing so far. There's the bomb that I was waiting for. And a miss. Touch. I'm not sure if the Spectre, maybe it can't attack on its first turn. I've had it attack before on its first turn, I thought. There we go. There's a Spectre. Okay, he missed on Pluck. Well, got saved on the Pluck Soul. But he gave it his best shot. It's okay. We'll get another one going in a second here. Also, I think these guys are resistant to like every damage type. Yeah, they're pretty insane. Slashing, piercing, bludgeoning resistance, acid, thunder, immune to necrotic, fire, lightning resistant, immune to cold, and poison. So yeah, these things are kind of deceivingly really strong. This is the weakest one. And also keep in mind, there's no limit to how many you could have. At least as far as I've seen, there's no limit. Okay, so apparently they also attack the same target as you. I'm kind of at the point in my game where I'm basically insta-killing most people, and I just got the Spectres. So I haven't really seen that happen yet, but that's actually really, really cool. Okay, well, we're not gonna be able to curse him. That was the guy I was kind of hoping to curse. Screw it. Let's kill him. Okay, well, there we go. Apparently, you can curse them and apply this the same turn, which I also wasn't aware of. So killing him, hitting him right there, applied the curse and killed him at the same time, which lets me summon another Spectre. So there you go. Now I've got a mundane Spectre as well. So that's 2, and then we will just, I guess, do this and miss. Clutch. And my turn. Gale, I guess maybe you should probably help these guys out. All right. Keep in mind, guys, I'm not trying my hardest here. I'm just trying to show you stuff. So take a potion and then turn. All right, let's see what these guys do. There you go. That's Pluck Soul right there. That was actually really strong. Killed him. Oh, I'll do that, sure. Don't want to die in the middle of the video. Okay. Nice. Would have done 8, but it only did 4 because he's resistant. 2 and miss. It's kind of nice because they just soak up damage for you. Do that and then turn. I'm not going to do anything just so you guys can see the Spectres do their thing. Okay, here we go. Just sucked his soul out. Devour Soul, which I think that's the one that heals me, right? I don't remember. And Pluck Soul. So they're not using their reactions to teleport, I guess because they don't need to, because there's already 2 enemies next to them. And they have enough range to hit. Let's go one more turn, and then I will try to show you guys the primordial one over in the Bang Shack over there. I think she's big enough. Let's get rid of this guy, I guess. And then end turn, just so these guys can do the rest. Dang it, saved. So yeah, you guys probably won't have these at this point of the game, but again, you can kind of see how strong they are. I mean, they're pretty crazy. So end turn again. Let's do one more real quick. See, there he did 9 damage and I healed for 4. So that was the healing one that I thought it was. All right, I'm gonna end this and go to try to show you the primordial one. Okay, knock knock. All right, let's hope I don't get absolutely clobbered right now. For some reason my picture's way off. What the heck is that about? Okay, let's hit her with the curse. Truth be told, I actually already did this and used shield as a reaction, so I didn't get to summon her. So fumble of the day. Okay, she's low enough to where, I mean, we could show off the allies finishing, I guess. Let's do that. There you go. So Astarion finished her off. Pause. And now we're gonna use a Cursed Spectre. So that should be Primordial. There you go. There's the big baddie, Primordial. 4 arms, some cool looking Elden Ring looking helmet thing, and he's pretty awesome. Let's see if he absolutely demolishes this guy. Now I'll use that. So apparently that used Astarion's reaction and not mine, because I was able to use shield, which is actually extremely interesting. Another thing I didn't know until recording this. I would show this in my main playthrough, but it's honor mode, so I can't save scum if something goes wrong, which I've had to do a couple times in this video already. That's freaking sick. So there's the multi-attack right there, Reap Soul. And that's actually the first time I've seen it. It's pretty freaking awesome. I just want him to attack again. I think it's the coolest thing. This is like the main draw of this class. This is why people kind of, I think at least. Look at that, so freaking dope. There he is, that's it. All right, now that you're at level 7, you'll get more health. You get another Eldritch Invocation. So you get Book of Ancient Secrets now, Dreadful Word, and Sculptor of Flesh as your 3 new ones. And then you can choose another spell. Now you have level 4 spells. So you get Banishment, Blight, Dimension Door, Dominate Beast, Greater Invisibility, Phantasmal Killer, Staggering Smite, Blink. On Blink's level 3, so that's it. And then keep in mind, the smites do use your main weapon, so that works with everything else. So now that you have level 4 spells, you also upcast all your your spells to level 4. So you have 2 level 4 spell slots. So Shadowblade actually does not scale until you hit level 5 and 6. 3 and 4 are going to be the same, but once you get to level 5 spells, that'll go up even more in damage. All right, level 8, some more HPs, get another spell, still at level 4, so levels 1 through 4, you choose whatever. You can replace the spell, and then you're going to get another feat. So just for the purposes of showing you guys what Charisma 20 would look like, I'm just going to go with Ability Improvement yet again. Put that at 20, so you can see what it's like if you get the Hag's Hair. I guess I'll just put the other one in something, it doesn't really matter. Level 9, some more HP, another Eldritch Invocation, and now you got even more options. You've got Whispers of the Grave, Otherworldly Leap, and Minions of Chaos. You're going to be able to choose another spell. Now you've got level 5 spells, which again, that means all of your spells are going to be level 5. So you have Banishing Smite, Cone of Cold, Old Monster, and that's it. Just those 3. And then you can replace a spell. So again, we have 2 level 5 spell slots. You can cast Shadowblade since it scales again now. So it's at 7 to 35 damage. If I use my Hex on it, 9 to 37. That's without the added bonuses of like Elemental Weapon or any of that. And also keep in mind at this point, your proficiency bonus is +4. So when they're cursed, they take another +4 damage. And you're also going to add your proficiency bonus to your attack rolls. So you have +4 to hitting them. Alrighty, level 10, more HP. Now you can choose another cantrip from the original list. You can choose another spell slot 1 through 5, and you can replace a spell. You also get the subclass feature called Armor of Hexes. When a creature you cursed with your Hexblade's Curse attacks you, you can potentially nullify the attack as a reaction. This has a 50% chance of succeeding. And to attempt to show you that, I'm going to leave myself, just going by myself right here, and curse the boss and hope he attacks me, I guess. So, cursed him, and turn. I'm about to get absolutely walloped. Yikes. Don't want to use my reaction there, or there. Here we go. Hit me with it. Oh, come on, brother. There you go. Armor of Hexes. You need a 14 to hit, you rolled a 20. Okay, so I'm going to use that as a 50% chance to succeed. Critical miss. There you go. Pretty cool. So before we move on, just keep in mind, since this only scales at 5 and 6, this is going to be basically your maximum amount of damage you're going to be getting with the Shadow Blade, so just keep that in mind. All right, we've reached level 11, some more HP, up to 80 now. Warlock spell slot gained. So now we have 3 spell slots. Pretty nice. You get a Mystic Arcanum, so this lets you choose a level 6 spell, and you can use this once per long rest without using a spell slot. So it's different than your other spells. So your options are Circle of Death, Arcane Gate, Eye Bite, Flush to Stone, and Create Undead. And then you will choose a spell from 1 through 5. And then finally you can replace a spell. Here you are, I'll do a short rest. There's my 3 level 5 spell slots. And then my level 6 spell Arcanum thing that I selected right here, Circle of Death, just chose it for this purpose. I guess I'll just use it there, whatever. We're all gonna die. That recharges on a long rest. So, and then again, that didn't use one of my 3 spell slots here. This is gonna bring us to our last level, level 12, final HP increase. You get another Eldritch Invocation, and now you have the option to take Life Drinker, which kind of crazy because it's gonna add damage to your melee weapon attacks. So attacks made with your weapon deal additional necrotic damage equal to Charisma modifier. So I highly suggest that one. Choose another spell, levels 1 through 5. And again, these all are upcasted to level 5. You can replace a spell just like every level, and then you'll get your 3rd and final feat. And that is the Hexblade Warlock in Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I plan on doing all 12 of the new subclasses. So yeah, stay tuned for more. Peace out.